7 minutes, ma'am.
Okay, I thank you, the moderator, and I thank you, my fellow discussant. You've done really great justice to the topic. Then on my own side, I'm gonna be talking on roles of community leaders and friends in preventing and combating domestic violence. So what are the roles of, of friends? Number one, when you know somebody is abused, maybe sexually abused, domestically abused, usually the first people they talk to are their friends. You know, they talk to friends, they talk to family, close people that are close to them. So what will be our message to the friends? Our message will be when your friend tells you something about maybe she was raped, or maybe if it's a housewife, the husband is mistreating her and stuff like that. So the first thing the friend should really do is to advise the victim to speak out. You know, usually these victims, they don't want to speak out because they feel they will be shamed when they express what they went through. The society will laugh at them and they will make it a point of reference, you know, about this individual. So as bad as it may be or seem, we'll still encourage friends to encourage these people to speak out, become like advocates, like their advocates, speak out for them, take them, you know, like most of the speakers already said, police station, hospital, you know, stuff like that. Encourage them to speak out. But number one thing I really want to talk about is the word of Marcel Biederman, who said that community should be built inside out. What do we mean by community being built inside out? All these people, all these rapists out there, they came from families. They came from families. People actually raised them. So how about we go back to the families? That's the starting point for every successful society. Let's get those guys captured early enough in their life. Tell them what it means to take advantage of somebody, to touch somebody without their permission. Let's start from then, picking them, catching them very young to make sure that they turn out as responsible adults. So we have to start from the families, from parents. What are you teaching your children? Are you a father? How do you relate to your wife? How do you treat them? For you, the mother, how do you relate to your girl child? How do you treat them? What do you encourage them to do? How do you tell them to protect themselves? Dressing and everything. What about keeping companies? What sort of company should they keep? How do they move? Where should they go and where should they not go? Because they are girl child and they are very vulnerable and anything can happen to them anytime. So we have to start from the family, and from there we have to, it's a collective thing. Everybody has to be on deck to make this change happen. So that would be the first point. Then the second is friends, encouraging them to speak out if something eventually happens. You know, I remember when we started university, during our first orientation, they told us that in the case of rape, that you should keep shouting and shouting until help comes. I like what our sister Obi said, that we should take action and give them a little kick. Maybe that will help us find our way of exit and, you know, leave the environment. So I've talked about friends. I've talked about how we have to start from inside out. Then what about the community leaders? How do they come in? They have to still be part of this awareness creation. Shame those people that act out this evil conduct. Shame them. And then community leaders, they will have to go, especially in our rural setting, in our community setting. There are laws that are very repugnant to natural justice. Sometimes, you know, let's talk about domestic violence against women. Sometimes a woman, okay, the husband may say something and the woman that steps in and other people step in and everybody is saying something and nobody seems to be protecting the woman until here. What's the roots of whatever is going on? How do we solve this problem? Because when you come into a situation that is crisis reading already and you begin to play the game of blames and all that, and not that of peace that promotes peace and harmony, then we will not get a problem solved. So for community leaders and for relatives, let them play the game of peace and settlement, where there are crises, where people are not functioning well, where people are not functioning effectively. Some community, you hear a child crying all the time from an apartment or from a home or wherever. You are seeing this child every time this child is crying. It's up to you to become the advocate,
rounding up, please.
okay, of this child and be able to call attention to what's going on. So community, they have a role to play, and all those culture and tradition that promotes violence should be taken away. When somebody dies, a woman's head is shaved and this like that, and she's not allowed to go out and fetch for her home for a particular time, and nobody even step in the gap to give her or her children food to eat. They leave her to suffer just to herself, and the children are neglected and everything. So we have to curb all these excesses that has to do with custom and traditions that are really repugnant, and get things straightened out so that we can promote really healthy living for our women. And also we want to talk about the policy makers. They should make policies that promote, harmony in families. They should make policies that promote, like when somebody is abused, like people talked about shelters, there should be a place for them to leave the environment for a time and go take care of their life and rebuild again. Because if they are left in that environment, then there won't be any saving grace for them, because sometimes they think about, where are we going to go if we speak out and they throw us out, where are we going to go? So policymakers should make sure they create shelters for women and for children that are facing abuse of any kind. So they pick them out, give them a better life, education, something, make them, function effectively again. Then for our judiciary.
Can you round up, please? We'll get time when the questions come in, you can answer more. So let's give the audience some time to, yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm rounding up by calling on the judiciary to strengthen, the female lawyers can come together and become a advocate team for these people. They don't have to pay you for your consultation. Speak out for them, represent them. Then for the police, don't begin to ask, how were you raped? Did it happen? Were you standing up, sitting down, stuff like that? It doesn't encourage the victim to come out and speak out. So I'm gonna keep it at this, so allow others to continue. Thank you.